All right, welcome in. We're going to start with some illegal shift plays, as that again is a point of emphasis for our association. Got to say, much improved this week on the illegal shift front. Maybe not so much on the offensive holding front, but on the illegal shift front, I thought we did pretty well as a group. Here's one that we did miss. You can see the offensive team is just clearly never set before they send the man in motion. You have to get set and then send the man in motion. And when the man is, the back starts to go in motion, there's still a lineman going down. There's still a receiver getting set. So they have to get set before they send the man in motion. So wish we'd have flagged this one. I do want to note, really good job here by the short wings. You could see on a 3rd and 3 situation, as soon as the play goes down, gets snapped, both short wings headed to the line of scrimmage. So that's good work. Just wish we would have picked up the illegal shift. We did pick this one up. We will have to rewind it. The offensive team does this a lot. So they'll shift 2 players. That's fine, but the tackle, everybody has to get set. And you can see when the ball gets snapped, he is not set for a full second. He's a half second at best. So this is a foul for an illegal shift. If you're going to shift 2 guys around, like they do here, they send 2 players in motion. Both players must get set for a full second before you snap the ball. And this player here is about a half second. Pretty easy one here. Just never set, right? Like the receiver up at the top of the screen. He's trying, but that's not a full second. They have to get everybody set, then hold for a beat before they snap the ball. So once again, they kind of break the huddle. Everybody's milling around. They're getting the play. Everybody's shifting. The receiver at the top is not set for a full second before they snap the ball. We correctly flag this for an illegal shift. You can see the wing official at the top of the screen goes ahead and picks this up. And this is one that only the official at the top of the screen really is going to pick up because it's tough for the wing at the short on the near side to pick that up. So good job by the far side short wing official to pick this up. Similar situation here. You can see that both of these receivers are kind of moving around. Only the short wing at the bottom of the screen is going to see this. Both of these receivers are trying to move around. When they snap the ball, we clearly need to get this. One training point would be short wing, don't just stop officiating. You do need to continue to officiate. Not a big deal here. I think the run goes for 2 yards. It's not the end of the world. But we do need to drop our flag for the illegal shift and continue to officiate. And then last week, you could see the receiver at the top of the screen. I'll be honest with you, I probably would have. I could defend a false start on the receiver at the top. You have to judge whether he's just mistimed the snap count or whether he's in motion. I think probably best would be a false start, but I can't say an illegal shift is wrong. I can live with it. I would probably prefer a false start on this because I think he's just mistiming the snap count up at the top of the screen. But at least we do get something on the ground because this is clearly not legal. The offensive team doesn't get set for a full second here. So good job picking this up as well. Play 47, same play, just a different angle. Play 44, look at the left tackle. Everybody's moving around. The left tackle is still kind of moving around when they snap the ball. He's just now getting into a stance when they snap the ball. Everybody has to get set, and then there has to be a pause for 1 full second, and the left tackle is still getting into a stance. These offensive teams, you can tell here it's a first down, right? And a lot of teams want to go up-tempo on first downs, and that's fine. You can go up-tempo, but you have to meet the requirements of the rule and get everybody set for a second. So this is a good pickup by the crew. We get a flag here from the referee for an illegal shift as well. Play 68, again, wide receiver in motion when you send the back. 2 players in motion. You got to get everybody set. They don't do this. This is a textbook illegal shift. I do want to have a short word about throwing the flags up into the air. We do need to throw the flags up into the air, not to the ground on an illegal shift. Why? Because it lets everybody kind of know that we have a foul. Everybody's going to see a flag up in the air. The press box is going to see it. Do we need to throw it 40 feet in the air? Probably not. 5 to 10 feet in the air will do the trick, guys. We don't need to be shooting down B-2 bombers with these things. So I do like the flag throw up in the air. I just don't think we have to throw it as far up into the air. But overall, good call here. And that kind of finishes up our illegal shifts of the week. But I also want to talk about pre-snap movement from the defense. And we talked about this. This is early in the game. Look at our defensive team here. Look at the defensive linemen. This is not natural motion. Look at especially the far side defensive end right here, number 24, I think it is. Kind of dancing with his arms. This is not normal defensive shifting action. This is clearly action. You can see as soon as he gets the reaction that he wants, he starts clapping. They are clearly doing this for no other reason than to cause a false start. And our crew gets together and we talk about it. And we get together and we talk and we come out with an encroachment. I think technically, I don't know what the high school signal is. I believe it's probably just a delay of game foul. But this is correctly called on the defense. This, especially this guy up here at the top, guys, this is not normal defensive action. This is clearly intended to cause a false start. Penalize the defense for this. So we do a good job here. I wish we'd have called the same thing on these two plays. Again, watch our defensive, let me rewind it. We have to go back to the beginning of the play here. Watch our defensive lineman, especially this near player. I think it's the same player, 24. He darn near does a jumping jack. This is not normal defensive movement. He is allowed to shift. He is allowed to move. But this jumping around, throwing your arms up in the air like you're doing a jumping jack, is action that is clearly intended but to do nothing else but cause a false start. Now, the offensive team does not move here. That doesn't matter. Penalize it. It's a delay game foul for disconcerting signals on the defensive team. This is not football, and we need to get this out of our football games. This is clearly intended to do nothing but cause the offense to false start, and we need to call penalties on the defense for this. Play 134. Let me back it up here again. Same situation. Look at the defensive lineman here. I think it's the same guy. They're jumping up and pumping their forearms. This is not a shift. This is not how a defensive player. This is clearly intended to do nothing but cause a false start. Add in that this player here at the same time is moving back. They're clearly trying to simulate the snap. I know the offensive team knows the snap count, but let me line a 300-pound defensive lineman across from you and have him jump around all herky-jerky like this and see if you don't flinch. Just get this stuff out of our games. Call it a defensive penalty. Unfortunately, we called a false start on this one. We'd already set the tone earlier in the game by calling an encroachment. Go ahead and do that again, right? Let's get this stuff taken care of. The defensive team is allowed to shift. They are allowed to stem, but they must do so with natural football motion. This is not natural football motion, and we need to penalize the defense for this. All right, so that kind of gets our pre-snap stuff out of the way. Interesting play here. So pay attention to the kicker. So we get a bad snap, and watch our kicker here. Probably could have had a false. I was debating an illegal shift, but they're actually all set. They just don't get in a crouch, which is fine. There's no requirement. So there's no illegal shift here. This is completely legal. But if we get a bad snap and watch our kicker. So if you see that, if you watch that again, the snap is bad, and the kicker intentionally just throws his leg at the ball to stop the snap. That's illegal kicking. It's a weird one. I'd never seen a player do this before, but he intentionally lifts his leg to strike the ball, which is the definition of an illegal kick. It's not a place kick. It's not a drop kick. It's not a punt. Therefore, intentionally striking the ball with his foot is illegal kicking. So that's a weird one. We did have illegal kicking here. We called it. The big thing here is illegal kicking is from the spot of the foul. And so we didn't show the next play. The receiving team chose to enforce this from the spot of the foul, from the 25 to the 15, and we replayed fourth down. That's what the receiving team wanted to do. So that's the big thing. So this is illegal kicking, and just remember, illegal kicking is the basic spot is the spot of the foul. So we get the illegal kick. The next point of discussion on this play is, should we have KCI here? And the camera's not great, right? It doesn't pick up the returner until late. It's on the far right of the screen. I believe that we should have. Remember, you can have KCI without contact. The receiving team player, whether he is waived fair catch or not, must be given an unimpeded opportunity to complete the catch. And I think he's coming up here to complete the catch, and the kicking team player gets in his way. And the kicking team coming up in his way in such a way that it causes the receiving team player to jump back, that is KCI by rule. So remember, the receiving team has to be given a completely unobstructed opportunity to complete the catch. whether there's contact or not. And this is a big deal because instead of being able to catch the kick at about the 23-yard line, doing whatever, now what if the kicking team downs us at the 1, right? Now it ends up going in into the end zone for a touchback, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's still a foul, and I think we should have had a foul for KCI here. Play 118. First off, yes, this is me, and yes, the referee will receive 14 lashes for leaving his white hat at the house. I had to bum a black hat from somebody on the crew. Nobody else on the crew had a white hat, so here I am. Yeah, I've already sent it into the membership committee, and I will receive my punishment. The discussion here is the quarterback out of the pocket? And there's a couple points of conversation. The first thing to note, referees, it's a good idea. Some referees do it. I don't. But some referees also keep lateral position of the ball to back up the umpire. I probably should start doing it. A lot of referees, especially the higher levels, will do that. You don't necessarily have to. It's not in the mechanics book. But just as a backup in case the umpire forgets or something like that. Lateral position can help you here on whether the quarterback is out of the tackle box because this is our snapper right here. The tackle box is, that's probably position 4. So we're snapping from position 5. The left edge of the tackle box is probably about position 4. And that's a good rule of thumb. One position in either direction is the tackle box. So if we're snapping from position 3, middle of the field, position 2 to position 4 is usually a decent frame of reference for the tackle box. We have a tight end here on the far side, but it looks like we have a tight end on the near side, but it looks like, 2 strides is a good rule of thumb, but also just think one position. If you can't recall whether 2 strides were made, one ball position can help you as well on the lateral edge of the box. The first thing to note is he takes a couple of steps here to the right. Whether a player is in or out of the box, a good rule of thumb is, does he take 2 strides? He probably does here. Right about there, he takes his second stride. I'll back up a little bit. Right about there, he takes his second stride. So he's probably right on the edge of the box. If you want to rule that this is out of the box, that's fine. And that brings us to the next point. Right there, he's probably at about 3 strides, and so he's out of the tackle box. Then he runs back in. One of the things to note here is once out, always out. So if you rule that the quarterback left the tackle box on his initial run to the right, which again, he takes 1, 2, 3. He takes 3 steps out, so he's out. If you rule that he's out, he's always out for the rest of the play. So even if he runs back into the tackle box and dumps the ball, you cannot, as long as he legally gets the ball across the line of scrimmage, you don't have intentional grounding because once out of the box, you're always out of the box. In this situation, he also runs some more. He runs to the left, and he throws the ball from about position 3.5, maybe 4. And remember, the ball was snapped from position 5. So you can use frame of reference here is, okay, well, the ball was snapped from position 5. He was outside of position 4, so he's out of the tackle box. So even out here on the left, I think it's good to rule that he's out of the tackle box. But just wanted to talk about that. A good rule of thumb is 2 strides, and if you're struggling with strides, just think one ball position. If he makes it one ball position as far as lateral position like he does here, ball snapped to position 5, he ends up around position 3.5. We're going to rule that he's outside the tackle box. Play 19. This play is very, very difficult. So this is a 6-man crew, right? We're not going to even discuss whether we get the play right or wrong or whether the receiver's inbounds or out of bounds because the camera angle is not going to tell. But how do we officiate this play in a 6-man crew? Because as you can see here, it's very tight whether he catches the ball in the back of the end zone. The camera angle is not good. You can't tell. And if we're being honest, everybody's just guessing here, right? It's a really tight ruling. How do we officiate this in 6-man when we don't have a back judge? If you're the deep wing, as soon as you can read, okay, they're throwing this ball deep to the back of the end zone, take as many steps as you can towards the back line. So I would have preferred us to be probably somewhere about halfway into the end zone because the goal line's not threatened anymore, right? Now the decision is the back line. You're never, ever, ever, and any deep judge that says he can is lying to you. No deep judge is going to be able to start the play here and teleport to the end line. It's an impossible task, right? So if he throws it here, you've got, let's see, the play clock is at 8. When the ball is caught, what is that, 2 seconds? You're not going to run 10 yards in 2 seconds, right? but you can maybe take 3 or 4 steps. We're not in the best position to roll here. Not a whole lot we can do. We just have to make the best ruling we can. But I just wanted to talk about this play is deep wings. Once you recognize that the ball is clearly going to be threatening the inline, go ahead and take as many steps as you can towards the inline and make the best ruling you can. Again, tough playing a 6-man. There's not a whole lot I can say about it. Just do the best you can. Play 22, I wanted to look at this receiver coming from the far side, running across. Bam. Right? We got to have eyes on this, and we miss it. To be clear, the angle's not great, so I don't know if the quarterback was trying to throw to this receiver or not. If he's trying to throw to this receiver, it's DPI for a cutoff. Because the point of contact is right when the throw is being made, and we don't want to, if in doubt, it's DPI. So if he's throwing to this receiver, it's DPI. We have to have this. But even if he's not throwing to this receiver, let's say he's actually throwing to this receiver at the slot right here. Even if he's not throwing to this receiver, this is still a foul. This is an illegal blindside block on the defense, which you can have by rule. This receiver is defenseless. He doesn't see this coming. He kind of looks at the last second, but he doesn't have a chance to brace for impact. And even if you didn't want to call a blindside block, it's also illegal contact or illegal use of the hands, I think is the high school rule. You can't just blow up a receiver while he's running his route. So we've got to have something here. The key would be, since this is the slot receiver, the number 2 on the near side, the short wing, or excuse me, on the far side, the short wing on the far side, this is your key. You should have this. But it's also right there in front of the short wing on the near side since it's kind of running towards him. I wouldn't have even cared who it came from, but either short wing, we've got to pick this up. This is absolutely a foul. Play 72. So the slot receiver here runs a wheel route down the sideline. So we get a wheel route from our slot receiver. And at this point, the ball's in the air. And we're going to see the defensive player, number 3 right here, is going to give him a shot. He's not playing the ball, and he's going to give him a shot that bumps him off the route. Right? The receiver tries to run around him, but the defensive back pushes him out even more. If you'll notice, at the point of contact, the ball is in the air. So this defender is not playing the ball. The ball is in the air, and he makes contact that does affect the route. Now, is it major contact? No. Does he hold him? No. This is a cutoff. This is DPI for a cutoff. You don't call cutoffs very often, but this is absolutely DPI for a cutoff. The contact is not major, but it is enough. He's not playing the ball, and it's enough that it clearly takes the DB off of his route. And you can see how, the receiver off of his route. And you can see how close this receiver was to catching this ball. So not all DPI is major restrictive contact, but he's not playing the ball. He cuts off the receiver, and he knocks him off of his route while the ball's in the air. This is DPI, and it's a cutoff. So DPI for a cutoff, we don't see it every day. Here's a good example. So yeah, I think that's it. Short video this week, still about 18 minutes. So I'll promise I'll keep working on trying to get them shorter for you guys. But good week on the illegal shifts. Let's keep that up. And good luck in week 4.